Thanks for tuning into the Carrie Handle Podcast. Here's your host, Bryce and Kevin.
Welcome back to the Carrie Handle Podcast with your hosts, Bryce and Kevin. And I'm Bryce. I'm the one talking with the more baritone. And then Kevin. Hi, Kevin. This is Kevin. Hi, Kevin. Hello.
Hi, I'm Kevin. When the more baritone, I'm Kevin.
That just sounds like you're a transvestite trying to
Why is
people.
everything sexual in you, Bryce? Everything.
That's not how is that sexual?
You're making
Explain
it sexual.
to me.
You
how
have
that's
made
sexual.
it sexual.
I said transvestite. How is that a
Why?
sex thing?
Why?
Why is that a sex thing?
What? You know what?
Explain to me.
I don't.
After I
can't.
roll friends of the channel,
Roll
explain
friends in the
to me.
channel. I don't think I can.
Kind of set the scene for you. We're
Oh,
expecting
no.
to see
Yeah,
That's
that
the
one.
fireside intro.
There he
Oh
is.
no.
Yay!
We want to take this time to thank friends of the channel who provided us 10% discount codes for our listeners. That's you, and we don't get kickbacks. First is Hammy 3D Prints. Thousands of products for firearm storage and other fun stuff, too. Code CarryHandle10. Eastern Shore Sling Company. Handmade rifle slings and custom sewing. Dog leashes, too. Code CarryHandle. 19 Charlie Tactical. Gunsmithing, Kydex holsters, thousands of drop-ship gun parts, accessories, tools, firearms. Code TheCarryHandle10. And lastly, I want to thank myself for all the scheduling and all the shenanigans I deal with daily. Thank you, Hannah.
Yes, thank you, Hannah, for doing all the things and also helping me this Saturday re-record this because Mike has reminded me again. He doesn't sell firearms anymore because it's gay and he doesn't want to do it anymore. So everything else, if you have a weird thing you need built or unfucked, something that needs its Cheerios unfucked, Mike can do it for you. Why is the tranny thing sexual, Kevin? You've had enough time.
You made it. That's a very sexualized statement, sir.
It's not. It really isn't. All right,
It really
so
is.
we have, by the name of the episode, the gentleman and lady, the two ladies that actually listen to this, will have seen that we have Chris Baker back with us from the Lucky of the Gunners. How are you,
Welcome
sir?
back, Chris Baker.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Wow. Okay, now that was sexual.
Well, very, very manly, really.
Had to out baritone you.
I'm saying, yeah, it's a lot more. It's more fun. Also, before I have you do your intro, before I forget this, I did watch one of your videos on 2x speed, and I understood the whole thing successfully. Yes.
Wow.
And
Now, I've been told that I talk too fast for people to do that because
I know.
some people will say, like, I normally listen at 2x, but I can't with
Yeah.
your videos because you talk too fast.
I remembered that from the last time you were on. And
Okay.
yeah, we had talked about, I don't know, maybe it wasn't on air. It may not have been on air, but either way, we definitely talked about it. And before tonight, I tried it. I was like, I'm gonna see if I can summit that hill, summit that particular, best him in that. But for the people that may not know you, give a quick just intro and hello.
Yeah, I work for Lucky Gunner. We sell ammo online with lightning fast shipping. And I am I'm the video guy for Lucky Gunner. I make videos about this, that, and the other for our little blog for those dozen of you who still look at gun blogs, and also for the YouTubes, as long as they keep allowing us to be there.
Hey man, we read blogs. I write for a blog, so bam. Yeah, that's
Nice.
right. Blogging hard, boy. So do you, I don't know if, I don't remember if I asked you, but are you pretty much the driving force behind what content in terms of like what videos get made?
Yes, no one else in the right mind would choose the topics that I choose.
But they're so fun
would-
and interesting.
I think that's what makes them interesting at the very least. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I enjoy that.
and they kind of let me sort of have free reign. Occasionally, I'm actually working on a project now for our website. They were like, we actually need you to do some stuff with like 5.56 because that's what people care about. And I was like, fine,
Oh,
I'll go-
no.
I'll go do some velocity measurements or something. And So that sort of thing happens occasionally, but for the most part, they're like, well, you've kind of found a few niches that were underserved, and that seems to work. So keep at it.
I
So,
love
would you-
Project Rimfire.
What's
yeah,
that?
I'm
Project
Rimfire fucks.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm enjoying that a lot. It's a lot of fun.
Have there been any like standout surprises for you?
Honestly, not yet. I'm expecting some surprises when I get deeper into the semi-autos. Because so far I'm doing by category. For those who are not following our YouTube channel, Project Rimfire is a series in which I'm reviewing an absurd number of 22 caliber handguns. And this was born out of my own desire to, I can't remember what I was shopping for. I wanted a new 22. And I couldn't find the information I was looking for. Like the reviews weren't covering them, or like the reviews would cover one thing, but they wouldn't say like, well, this one compares to that one in this way. It's like, no, those two are like the two you compare. If you're not talking about those two, why are you even reviewing either one of them? So I decided to review as many 22s as I could and group them by like categories so that you get kind of apples to apples. And so far I've done 22 pocket pistols and 22 medium frame revolvers, which are kind of both the more obscure categories. And next I'm doing the some of the categories get hard to define. I'm calling them the trainer pistols. So like the ones that are configured like a duty gun ish. The not a Mark IV type of 22s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
basically
pretending to be something
everything
else.
Yeah,
Band
and it's a
state gun.
huge category because there's a lot of them that are like, some of them are modeled after actual centerfire models.
Right.
Some of them are conversion kits. Some of them are just kind of like styled after the general idea of a centerfire gun, but don't like the SIG P322. It's not a 320. It's not a 365. It's SIG-ish.
Yeah, it's its own thing.
Like it feels
Yeah.
like a SIG, but it's not mimicking any other SIG. So all the guns in that category, and I'm open to being surprised. I'm not sure what I'm going to find. I'm not going to be able to review as many as I would like to in that category, just because I can't get a hold of all the guns I need to do it.
There are quite a few.
There should be at least 12 or 13, I think.
Okay.
Which should be pretty good. But yeah, I mean, I was really hoping to be surprised with the pocket pistols and find one that ran, but I did not. So.
Well, I know the last time we talked, I think we were talking to you about how 22s, people generally look at them as like toys, like not really useful things
Usable
past.
calibers. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because people scoff at 22s all the time. I mean,
22.
Good scoffing.
Thank you.
good, that was
practiced.
A tier scoffing. I'm very impressed. But I mean, in terms of 20, I carried a 22 Magnum for quite a long time. I quite liked it, but I guess this will bring us kind of around to what I want to just kind of touch on, or the kind of the catalyst for the episode, if you will. But
The meat and
what
potatoes.
changes the meat in potatoes and the munchies, the things.
I said
I don't know
potatoes,
I
not
don't know what's happening
potatoes.
here.
What the fuck are you doing? What?
I said potatoes.
Oh my
Why are
God.
you giving me guff for how I say things, Kevin? Leave me alone. You and your transvestite potatoes stay over there, okay? So what changes? Or okay, so let me rephrase this from making a stupid joke. What has changed for I guess for everybody, to Chris, Kevin, and then me, obviously. The first gun that you bought, handgun, rifle, shotgun, whatever, to what you would be looking for in either a defensive handgun or something that you would buy now. What has changed? And we can start with defensive, because I mean, I think everybody has a reason they chose their first carry gun to what they carry now, or what ideally they would be looking for. But like, what was your first gun? Why did you choose it? And then fast forward to what you're doing now.
The first gun I carried was not really one I chose. It's just one I had. So it was my grandfather's gun, and he had passed away a few years earlier. It was a nickel-plated Smith & Wesson Model 36. So 38 J-frame. With, I believe, with the original Magna grips. So no special Hogue grips or any aftermarket
So,
thing.
it's a pretty nice first carry gun.
Yeah, well, I mean, at the time it wasn't great.
Wow.
Like I there was nothing special about it. It was 36s were a dime a dozen at that time. And this was oh geez, how long ago was this? Oh man. This was 20 years ago. Maybe more. So at least 20 years ago. At the sort of dawn of the Gunternet, there was a firearms community online, if you want to call it that. Nothing like it is now, but so that's where I went for information. I had a couple friends who were shooters, but none of them were really serious enthusiasts. They would just like go to the range every couple times a year and shoot the guns that they had accumulated. So I had my grandfather's 38, and that's what I carried. I didn't carry it much, but that's what I shot my permit class test with that gun. And I remember that we had like the big, what do you call them? The B-21? Is that it? The huge silhouette target?
Like the silhouette.
Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking the Tombstone, but yeah, those are-
like the black silhouette, like that's almost as tall as a person, but
Yeah,
it's
the-
like
the 80s
20%
target in
larger
every
than
movie.
any person.
Yeah.
yeah.
So we had that, and I remember shooting. So it had the the bullseye thing in the middle, not quite in the chest area. It's more like in the center of the torso, and all my hits were. I think you just had to hit the silhouette. Like it didn't matter if it was in the rings or not. Like all my hits were like in the gut. So typical like double action. Just I was yanking every shot low, but I got him in there. But there was like this big cluster right in the intestine area.
Jesus.
I remember that.
He's definitely
very
getting a colostomy
vividly because I was
bag.
like, yes, definitely. I was like, man, I got to learn how to shoot this thing. That sucks.
Talk about blowing an ass
No.
out.
But I carried that a little bit, and I didn't have a good holster for it. And if you don't have a good holster for any gun, it sucks to carry. So I had this this holster that was like, I don't know where it came from. It was leather, but it was very, very thin leather. So it was kind of limp, and it had a spring steel clip on it. And so
Sounds like a DeSantis.
something like that, but it was very, very well broken in and soft. It
Okay.
was almost like an old sock or something, but leather.
Good.
And so it didn't really support the gun that well. And I remember carrying it around one time I had this big wool, like a pea coat kind of winter coat. And I carried around in the pocket of that coat. And I was like so paranoid. I was like, everybody knows I've got a gun in my pocket.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
I
It was
know.
just like
Yeah,
this.
I know
You
what
just
you
feel
mean.
like all the eyes are on you. And this was
Yeah.
like the stigma at that time was different as well. Cause I didn't know anybody else who had a carry permit except my buddy who took the class with me. In Tennessee now, you can't, if you meet anybody just randomly, they probably have a carry permit and, a Taurus PT-92 stuck in the side pocket of their driver's seat door.
Right.
Like that's just the culture we're in. But where I
America.
was and at the time, it was not a thing so much, and so it felt weird. Anyway, after I didn't carry that for a while, and I decided to actually purchase a firearm. I bought a gun that I thought would, it wasn't so much that my priorities have changed in terms of what I think I need for defense, but like this was 20 years ago. I was broke. I was like trying to buy a handgun that would do everything I wanted a handgun to do.
Yep.
So I'm like,
Yep,
I
I know
don't
what you
know when
mean.
I'm going to be able to buy another gun. So I'm going to buy one pistol. It's going to be my home defense gun. It's going to be my range gun. Maybe I'll try competition. It'll be my competition gun. It's got to do everything. And so I thought the Beretta PX4 looked really cool because it was kind of newish at the time and it looked really different. And I knew Berettas. My friend had a 92. And I was like, 92 is too big. This thing looks a little smaller. So I got a PX4, the very first like original full-size model. The full-size PX4 is it's not quite a full-size gun. Like the slide length is more of a compact slide length.
Yeah.
And so
even the grip isn't that. It's like a lot of like Glock 17s are much longer than my hand. The PX4s, I mean, they're almost Glock 19 size, not quite.
Yeah,
but...
it's kind of between a 17 and 19
yeah.
in grip length. So it's a smallish gun, but again, I got a crappy holster for it. Carried it a few times. It's like, this sucks. And this was before really appendix was a big thing again. So I was trying to carry behind the hip, which has never worked for me.
Same.
Just I've got bony hips sticking out everywhere.
Yep.
It's just really uncomfortable.
God. My body, like the shirt pokes out right where the gun is, no matter what.
There's no way to do it.
Instant print.
Yeah.
And some people say the same thing about like
or...
when someone says I can't carry appendix, I'm like, I don't try to force the issue because I'm like, I can't carry behind the hip. It's just, we're shaped different. It just doesn't work.
Some people
so I was trying to carry this thing and it wasn't working. It was just too big. And so I think, that gun broke. I had a part break on it. And I got a replacement. I fixed it, but then I found something. So I bought a series of guns just because, I didn't know how to try a gun unless I just bought it. So I would like sell a pistol and buy another pistol. So I had a new pistol like every few months, and that was kind of the pattern for a few years. But I think the first gun, to kind of get to the crux of your question, the first gun that I carried for any length of time was actually a 442. Smith & Wesson 442.
Okay.
So honestly, it's not that different. I mean, I'm carrying a 332 now, so it's really not a whole lot different, but it's
full
kind
circle,
of
right?
For different reasons and with a different perspective. But at the end of the day, like the J-frame, the lightweight J-frame just is the most comfortable for me to carry in terms of shape. It's something that doesn't poke my body in ways that bother me. It's something that I feel like I can get a good grip on and have a solid, reliable draw stroke, unlike most really tiny semi-autos. And so that's kind of what I default to. And I've carried a lot of other guns in between. I still carry different stuff now, but 90% of the time it's a J-frame. And that, for a good year or two, I carried the J-frame and I stopped carrying it because I couldn't shoot it. And then I came back around with like, I can actually shoot double action. So I'm going to carry a J-frame again. So
interesting. Very cool.
I actually had a very similar. So the 442 was, I think maybe the second or third gun I ever bought. I bought a Glock 34 and a J-frame at the same time, but whatever that was, but I actually bought it as an ankle gun at the time because I was like I wore the 511 pants and I had an ankle holster. I carried the long slide 9mm. It was very peak 2015, if you will.
What about the FNS?
Well, I was going to get to that. So the first, much like you, the first gun I bought, and I think I told Kevin this around that time, but it was a FNS 9L. John Johnston had just gotten 2 in for one of the tests he was going to do. He never finished, which bummed me out pretty hard.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't want to buy a Glock 34 because I wanted to be different for whatever reason. Ended up buying it eventually anyway, literally I think like 6 months later. But either way,
I waited an embarrassingly long time to buy a Glock just to be contrarian. Like,
yep. Well,
and it turns out I don't really like Glocks that much. I wasn't missing out, but I don't hate them. the way I hated
Yeah.
them before I didn't really try them.
Right. Well, so I did exactly that. I got the 5-inch because I really liked his content and I liked Todd Green's content with the pistol training. And I logged every round and I was like, oh, you don't need a fucking small carry gun, whatever. Because at the time, the carry gun market in 2015 was like shields, and shields.
Yeah.
Oh my God, do I hate shooting shields. Like the
Ugh.
original slimline shields, they're like bars of soap that you rubbed in oil. Like it's so bad.
Shield.
And I would only ever carry plus Ps, and I was like, I gotta shoot, because ammo was a lot cheaper. I gotta shoot the plus P ammo when I'm training, because like I would buy plus P ball ammo.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Oh, wow.
You used to tell me
Just
that.
so you would have
Yeah.
the same recoil.
Yeah,
as your
I was
carry
like,
ammo.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And now the
all
POI,
right.
obviously, I was hunting down POI. Like I was like, oh well, if I get this ammo, it sort of mimics and blah blah. Because I think Lawman printed pretty similarly to like the 124 grain or 147 grain I was shooting, and I was like, all right, well, you know, this is cool. And then you know, you start realizing that's kind of stupid. But
Yeah,
you know,
there's no need to do that to yourself.
well, and then I wanted that gun to be also able to. I wanted to go compete. I wanted to go shoot USPSA, and I'm not gonna want to shoot a gun that's really small and I can't reload and I can't do the tactical things, like, because I was big into like training, like Range Master and like all that media that I'm really like, because I grew up effectively on Pistol Forum. And so reading all of that, it changes a little bit of your priorities, and you're like, all right, well, I can carry this gun because, I mean, Todd was always carrying a full size gun, or like, I mean, from what I was reading, and I was like, oh, that has to be me. I gotta have fucking IFAKs in my pocket, and I gotta have 2 spare mags, and
Yeah, and
holy
honestly,
shit,
that
man.
is why I carried so many larger guns, or tried carrying them. You know, after the PX4, it was a series of compact and full size pistols, and I was, you know, I think we were swimming in the same waters there with Pistol Forum and all that kind of stuff. And you know, not to knock Todd or anything, like that was a wealth of knowledge, and I'm super lucky to have found that early on. It saved me a lot of headaches and saved me from jumping into a lot of really stupid rabbit holes. But the bias toward carrying as much gun as you possibly can is kind of a thing. Like it's part of that community, and it's still today to some extent. But I think
it's still
there's
pretty much
there's
like
kind of
that.
the pendulum swinging back on that a little bit. But yeah,
More J-frame guys. That's cool. I like that. I'm like, hey, there's they're yelling at him again. Nope. All right, he was gone.
And
that was
there
quick.
He goes.
And there he goes. But I mean, I like, because we also, friend of the channel, Ian from Hidden Valley Defense. He's a big J-frame guy. Love him. Love you, Ian. Hi.
Hi,
Your schedule. Don't be mad at
Ian.
me.
Hi, Ian.
Yes. So big wheel gun fan. But yeah, so I was trying to get as much gun out as I possibly could to compete with and do everything you could. And then the gun started, and then I got the Glock 34, and then I got a J-frame because I needed an ankle gun, because I needed 2 guns. And like you gotta have a backup, and it's just like, holy shit. And then you kind of get to the point where I actually stopped carrying a gun. And this is shameful. I'd never admit this, but like, I stopped carrying a gun for almost a year just because I was like, holy fuck, like this is... Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
whoa. Wait.
So I stopped carrying a
What?
gun. So I kind of got burnt out. I got really, really, really burnt out. Now, there was some other life stuff going on in there that Kevin probably knows about.
Yeah, I do.
Why? Just
I
there
didn't know
go.
you were. I didn't know you were not carrying
this
the gun.
was all blended out, but I got burnt out, and I stopped because I was like, oh my God, like, because you got actively shamed if like you carried anything other than a Glock 19 and 9 blah 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 blah, and it just fucking took it out of me and then mixed with a couple other things. I mean, it was a solid where I was just like, I guess I'm just not the guy. Like maybe I know around that time I'd gone to, or a little bit after I had gone to ECQC, I actually felt inadequate. Like I was like, am I the guy? Like I had like a crisis of tactical identity where it's like, am I the guy to actually be able to implement this kind of life-saving measure, and it's like, because you got to have med to go rush to somebody's aid, and fucking you gotta patch up the guy you just shot, and
a
it's
t-shirt, and
fuck,
steak.
bro. Like,
Yeah,
how
I
about
think that a lot of people fall into that, and even not necessarily people who are as into it as you and I may have been. Some more casual people who just want to defend themselves get talked into carrying or buying a carry gun that's more than they can really manage, and then they stop carrying it, or worse, they leave it in the car. And
yeah, please. PSA:
that's
cars
even
are not holsters. Cars are not holsters. Cars are not holsters. PSA ended.
yes.
so say
Thank
we
you.
all. Yeah,
Indeed.
it kind of leads to a cascade of other problems, and there's you want to be aware of what your capabilities are, aware of what your gun's capabilities are, but I don't think that means you carry literally as much gun as you can. There's a lot of good instruction that comes from people who have very heavy bias from law enforcement military world. They have a lot of valuable insights. They have a lot of really great shooting advice, and a lot of them will even recognize and admit to the bias of the world they come from. But I think there's still a failure to fully adjust that to the context of just the everyday person.
Right.
And the person who kind of brought that to my attention and it sort of made me feel okay for feeling that way was Claude Warner. And he was always the one sort of pushing back. And it's like, for some reason, all the cool kids let Claude hang out with him, and they all thought Claude had some really good things to say. And Claude was constantly saying stuff that was the opposite of what they were saying.
The first time I met him in a class, I was laughing about, I had just seen a couple of like his write-ups and stuff where he was talking about double action revolvers, and like I think at the time the Sky had really just been like the cheap gun. For any people that don't know, this SCC or SCCY was like one of the cheapest double action 9mm you could buy.
Oh yeah,
and Claude was he was a proponent. He loved that gun. He liked 5-shot J frames. He was the first guy I actually talked to because I saw how he shot with semi-automatics, and I saw how he performed in class. But like, I'm glad I talked to him after that because I knew who he was, obviously. But and then he just like puts on a little J-frame 5-shot or 38 special, and I'm like, wait, what? What are you doing? He was like, it's what I carry. And I'm like, whoa, what?
You're not supposed
What
to
is
do
happening?
complete
Whoa.
glass shattering world behind you.
Yeah, that's funny. That's pretty much the exact same thing as he is a J-frame guy. I mean, and cheap pocket gun guy, which just fucking blew me away because he's the tactical professor. Like, what? What
Yeah.
the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, I get accused of being a gun hipster, which, it's funny. I get it. But it's not like I don't like pocket pistols and J-frames and all that stuff because just to be a contrarian, which, I would understand why you would accuse me of doing that. But
I accused you of that with the Smith & Wesson double action 3rd gen.
oh, yeah, sure. There's
Quite.
plenty of that going on. But it's more of a pragmatic thing. It's just like, man, some people probably do need to carry a 15 to 18 shot 9mm and a couple of reloads, and probably also need to move at the soonest possible opportunity or change jobs or something. Or some people just have that as part of their work or whatever. Most of us don't, and that's really especially those of us in this world, the defense world, the people who can afford to do the training, who can afford the guns. Like, we are way low on the probability scale being the victim of a random violent attack. It still can happen. That's why I'm prepared for it. But like at this point, I probably have said this in every podcast I've done in the last few years, but like the amount of inconvenience and discomfort I am willing to put up with in order to carry a gun at this point in my life is minimal. It's there to serve me. I'm not serving it, and I'm not serving any sort of ideal of what a tactical, prepared-minded person is. I think it's great to be prepared. I love ECQC. I think it challenged me in some really good ways when I took it. I take medical classes. I carry medical gear in a bag that is sometimes with me, like, I am not going to disrupt what I feel like is comfortable everyday interactions with myself and the world in order to meet some like weird standard of an ideal defender or whatever you want to call it. And I'm not knocking anybody who does. Yeah. That's fine if that's your thing, but it's just like it's a big burden to carry if you don't enjoy it as a hobby. Right. And I enjoy shooting. I don't enjoy carrying around a bunch of crap with me all the time. That is not part of the hobby that I signed up for. So that's like obligation. It's not like fun to me to carry around a bunch of stuff.
Well, what's a bit of a shame, or not a bit of a shame? What is it? Borderline a fucking travesty is people in the training industry or in the training sphere, because it's its own thing. Like there's people think shooting is all together, but it's like it's its own little cults. Like you got the people over here and the people over here.
It's like an onion, and the more layers you peel back, the more layers there are.
But I mean, there's like 50 onions. Like it's not just one. Like it's a whole whole fucking field.
I was thinking of Shrek when they said that. So
yeah, I understand. But my point being is that
there's a lot of onions. There's a
shitload of onions.
There are a lot of
and none of them agree with each other.
Yeah. There's a lot of,
and that's why people cry all the time.
And every time I think I've got them figured out, there's more onions, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know about those.
And
that's
why you're always crying,
guys.
Chris. That's why you're always crying.
Yeah. Well, so, and it seems like as soon as you start to divert away from the common group think of whatever, I've stopped because primary and secondary is RIP, but that was like my one like sort of grounding moment. But I can't stand a lot of gun media right now because it's kind of hard for me to watch. It's like I don't care about any of this. Like I want to watch people restore black powders, and like I want to look at.
I want to learn about history,
science,
mathematics, physics.
It's gotten very, and I don't want to turn this into like crotchety old guys complaining about the world changing around them, but the way the industry has moved, and this is just going to happen in any industry that has a huge influx of people. But the gun industry has had a huge influx of people in the last decade or so. And for lack of a better term, it's the consumerism that's crept into it. Just the obsession with constantly coming out with new models and new stuff and new, like, a lot of it's driven by Instagram. Like, it's got to look cool. And I like cool looking guns, and I see guns on Instagram, and I'm like, oh, that is really awesome.
Yeah.
It would be cool to have.
You can appreciate
like that. But I can appreciate it for sure. But it's just like that has become so much a part of this, like,
it's a driving factor.
Lifestyle. Man, if I hear the word lifestyle one more time, like, it's not a lifestyle.
Right.
It's
lifestyle.
a thing you do. It's a hobby. It's like it's a hobby dressed up as a life-saving activity. And I keep thinking of how hilarious it would be
if,
it's a
lifestyle, Chris. Don't you know? Actually,
if everyone had like a lifestyle built around fire extinguishers and other fire suppression devices, like how hilarious it would be if people were Instagramming their like blinged out fire extinguishers with.
Dude, honestly,
there's one guy out there.
Nozzles.
There's one guy out there that does that, and we thank you, sir.
I'm sure there is. That's the
The
funny
one.
thing. There's definitely a thing.
Have you checked the
a
date on that?
community of fire extinguisher aficionados. But yeah, I mean, like the obsession with gear, and it's not at this point like, we used to make fun of gear people as like, oh, you either know how to shoot or you know how to like buy gear. There's a lot of people buying gear who also are obsessed with shooting really well, but it's usually shooting to some arbitrary standard, whether it's a 1 second draw or some other thing that's like feel good sort of. Why a 1 second? Like why not 0.9 or what's special about 1 second? I don't know. Like it's always something like that where it's you get these little cults built around this. If it's not 1 second draw, it's like some rifle thing, or people start obsessing over tenths of seconds on something I didn't even know you could do. And I'll see them doing stuff on videos. I'm like, why? Well, is this a thing now? Now we're like racing to see who can shoot this weird steel target at some arbitrary distance.
Yeah.
That's all fun. It's great. It's just, I had this conversation with Adam Roth from Aridus Industries about shotgun stuff and some of the shotgun stuff. Like we love reloading shotguns and doing shotgun manipulations. It's completely useless skill. Like no one is ever going to need to do that. We don't do it because we think we need to. We do it because we've shot shotguns and we're like, oh, wait a minute.
Totally going to use this stuff.
Awesome.
Just settle down.
Oh, God.
And I hope someone does someday just to prove the point.
They're going to leave the tube unloaded just so they can use
just
the
so
shell
they can
saber,
reload
the
it.
match saber.
Yeah.
Do the emergency reload.
Yeah. It's almost like, yeah. Yeah. So, a lot of this becomes, what's the polite way to say it? Self-congratulatory. And that's all fine.
It's more like, I think a lot of it is like dueling ideology.
Way. What's the unpolite way of saying it?
What do you mean by dueling ideology?
Well, so what I guess what I meant in terms of like the different onions being upset with each other is like people like getting mad at you for not carrying a double stacked 5-inch gun with a fucking because I know the flashlight people are still bitching and moaning because they're like, oh, if it has sights, it needs light.
Yeah,
I know Aaron Cowan says that, but
we didn't even mention the fucking flashlight PIDs.
I don't want to talk about that right now. Just don't make me. I listen. I try not to go out at night so I don't have to use my fucking flashlight. Okay.
All right.
But okay, so let me ask you this.
That's helpful
because of a lot of that. I've kind of disconnected from a lot of the online chatter over a lot of that stuff. So I'm not really the one to ask in terms of where the winds of change are going these days. Like, do you think there is I feel like there's been some reaction against that, like
there
chasing
was
how much gear you can carry,
back.
chasing like fast draw times, all that kind of stuff. Like, is that still the big thing?
I think it's like the bell curve. Because like the Lucas Botkin fucking sidecar speed draw dudes, which by the way, super impressive. That holster system never really worked for me necessarily because I just didn't work. But those dudes could always, anytime they were in class, quick as hell. Like the first ones out of the holster, maybe not the first round fired, but definitely the first out of the holster. Very impressive. But like it seems like that went away sort of, and we got a lot more air quotes sensible to me is like, a purpose-built concealed carry gun. No problem for full size. I'm carrying a 5-inch all steel 9mm 1911 right now, but that's for something I'll talk about later.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, I was carrying a 22 Magnum J frame because it was comfortable, it was convenient. They're easy to live with, especially if I'm in non-permissive environments. I can actually tuck my shirt in around because I have one of the first generation Filster City specials, which I love. I used a heat gun to get it to work with laser grips. I mean, It's very convenient.
I think
it's
that's
awesome.
Still what I carry more than anything is my original City Special holster.
I haven't tried the new ones, but I have literally no reason to get another one.
Yeah, I have a newer one, but I
yeah.
think it's on an Enigma somewhere. And usually I just use the standalone one. That's the old one.
Well, I was good. So I
Nice.
actually I intended to get an Enigma for the J frame because I was having a little bit of Enigma crisis. I tried very hard to get that to work, and I just haven't been able to get it to work for me 100%. I also sort of have an eating disorder, which makes it hard for me to maintain weight, like really, really hard for me to maintain weight. So I was always adjusting it. And so much so that I got the sport back belt to try to like work with me because I would lose. Kevin can attest to this, but I fluctuate weight
attest.
like
I
really
attest.
violently. I don't get like super fat, but I get really skinny
That's-
sometimes.
I attest.
And so it was kind of hard for me to maintain, and the gun would always move around. It felt like it was different every single time, and I was like, that's what was really a driving factor towards the 351C or whatever the internal 351, because the PD is the hammer, is the external hammer.
Yeah, that's the double action, single action.
Yeah.
Thank you. So that was a big part of that. Was it weighed as much as an iPhone? It's effectively 12 to 13 ounces, which is nothing. By the way, literally pick your iPhone up. It's about that. Especially like if you have a Pro Max or one of the thigh pad fucking massive one, it's that heavy. It's like that in a pocket. And I was running at the time before my knees decided, hey, you're not doing that anymore. So, as soon as I hit 30, my body was like, no, you're not.
Well,
you're not doing that anymore.
It sent the memo to you. You just ignored it.
Yeah, it did. Right. Yeah, I just didn't listen. That and marine construction fucked me up. But
Well, I mean, what
so-
you're talking about is like real life stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that's I think
Yeah.
what gets left behind in a lot of the discussions about should carry or ought to carry. It's like
They get hemmed up with the whole idea of the most best defense carry pistol out there versus like, wait, are you gonna actually wear this fucking thing every day? Are you gonna shoot
Yeah.
it all the time? Are you gonna train with the
Absolutely.
fucking thing? Are you gonna use it?
and
Or you're not? Oh, okay, shut the fuck up.
I got to
Well,
shout
and-
out to Filster for this because they've kind of pushed back pretty hard against that with the education stuff they put out for how
Yeah,
to carry
big
and
time.
for the
Yeah.
Filster and for the Facebook group that they have. And I think Sarah Haltman is behind a lot of that. And a couple of conversations I had with her about it is like women are really comfortable talking about body stuff that guys don't talk about. And it's
Yep.
not that we're uncomfortable. It's just like we don't think about it or we're expected to just sort of like suck it up and deal with it.
Yeah.
Sometimes literally suck it up and not have to have your gut stick in your, all that stuff that we have
Yeah.
around the midsection that can affect how we carry. Like no one really talks about it in any sort of detail, but they have like, women have like vocabulary for that kind of stuff that's like weird and
I've watched
foreign
some
to
of her
me, but
videos.
it's
I have
really
no idea
helpful.
what she's talking about.
It's really helpful
Peaks
when you
and
put
valleys.
words to these
Peaks
things.
and valleys.
Yeah, like and they've found a way to like help walk people through it regardless of, whether they've got a colostomy bag or whether they have a job where they're supposed to wear some kind of weird sweatpants all the time or like they're trying to figure out how to make it fit your life and not make you have to change things about your life to fit this new hobby or lifestyle or whatever you want to call it.
Well, and that was actually more to that point of fitting my lifestyle. Like at the time, like my problems aside, like having to put a belt and pants on every fucking time I wanted to go out my door with a gun is so annoying. So I know that sounds ridiculous, but I'm in Florida and it's hot as fuck.
That sounds
all
ridiculous.
the time.
That sounds very ridiculous.
All the time.
Lots of things
It's
that
so
seem like
hot.
a great idea to carry in November in East Tennessee in August suddenly become super obnoxious.
Yeah.
Like the humidity
Look, your
inside
balls,
the waistband humidity is
The
a
balls
real
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
sweat.
exactly.
The ball sweat is the tax you pay.
Well,
is
so
what they'll
the
say.
ability for me to take this iPhone weighted gun and a discrete carry concept clip and literally put it on sweatpants and be able to dry fire like no problem, be able to draw, it didn't come up with the fucking gun. You got to strip it off or anything. I mean, shout out DCC clips because those are fucking great.
Yeah.
But
PSA, if you don't have DCC clips, get them right now. Get them right now.
yeah, so
They're really good.
I had that was a really big because I would have my Benchmade knife. I'd have my stiletto, or at the time I guess a foxtrot, because I'm a stiletto Pro 2 fan. I love these.
Oh,
Kevin and I were just talking about. I love that.
We
That
I
will.
light
have
is my
one.
favorite
It
thing.
is. I don't think I could ever carry one. I don't
See,
think I
I
could
like
ever
that it's
carry one.
flat.
It's huge.
It is big, but it is this. I use this every day at least 10 times because I can look in. Now, granted, at my job, I'm looking at shit a lot. So like, there's I'm in the firearms industry. You can imagine there's dark places everywhere, right? But like, so like,
My
there's
asshole?
a warehouse. There's sure
I use
Sure.
the original.
the original. Yeah,
Chris
actually, I've
coming
never
in.
tried one of those. I haven't actually tried that, but
I don't love
I
anything
like-
about it except for how easy it is to carry.
I like the switchology, and yeah, that was part of it.
God.
So I carried
Pragmatic to the core.
I carried a Foxtrot, like the Romeo Foxtrot thing before, because it's bright as hell. But I realized very quickly that doesn't make a lot of sense. It's kind of like the tactical shit. It's like, oh, well, it's an offensive tool, which light is very effective at deterring people, especially really bright lights. So I'm not poo-pooing that. There's a reason I carry this Stiletto Pro 2. But it also doesn't have any admin modes, so it's full balls
Yeah,
all
it's
the
fucking,
time.
It's
Yeah.
fucking on or it's not.
And when I'm just looking for a bolt or a screw or a fucking box in a stock room, like I don't need all the beans, like 1,300 or like
Absolutely.
52,000 candela
Yeah.
fucking burning my
That's-
retina.
Flashlight is by far the most used tool I carry on a daily basis, unless you count my phone. But like, I probably pull out my flashlight more often than I look at my wristwatch.
Yep.
Like it's,
Yep.
and as I've gotten older and my night vision, like, just decided
Yep.
to quit at age 35, and every year it gets worse. And like, if it's like even slightly dim, I feel like details are gone from everything in the
Yep.
world.
Yep.
My kids are constantly showing me stuff, and like, how do you see that? It's completely dark in here. Like, what? I've been drawing for half an hour. Okay, well,
Well,
that's a
good for
superpower.
you.
So
Batman.
I carry around a light, and it gets used a lot, and it gets used not for shining in bad guys' faces very
Yeah.
often. And
And
so
that, and
I like that.
so
I have that
yeah.
capability. I can
Yeah.
turn on the bright mode, but like, if I didn't have the 5 lumen or whatever the low thing is, it would be useless to me. So I had a
My
light for a
God,
while
yes.
that was like I think it was a lower end stream light that was fine. It was a single AA cell light, and I had it set so that it would only do the full bright all the time, which was not super bright for that light. But if I needed the lower mode, I would stick my finger over the end of it and have like ET finger.
that's
I-
great.
I could only use it for a limited amount of time before it would start to burn my finger. So I had like
Incredible.
15 seconds of low intensity light. That was not
I
a
got a
sustainable
timer.
strategy.
Nice.
Well, I to combat that, I got one of the like the USB pre USB C, by the way, the rechargeable Streamlight, the little one. It had like it like had the retractable foreskin on it, which to like
Yeah,
charge it.
I think I have one in a
I
box
think
back here.
yeah, I have one of those. I think in
mine-
my truck.
Kevin, you know the one that's on my I still use it. It's on my visor, and all the anodizing's gone. Like all of it is gone.
Yeah,
I
I
used to
think I-
carry that.
I think I have the same one in my truck. Or
Yeah.
very similar.
So we I carried that forever with the Foxtrot because I was like, I need my offensive light, and then I need my administrative light because I shit you not. I shit
Yeah,
you
you're-
not.
You made Chris give a hearty laugh on that.
And so I carried that. I carried this Streamlight, and then I was like, well, I
Well,
could just get it all in one.
Well, can I propose a thought? And I think Chris will.
You may
appreciate-
posit a thought, sure.
I will posit a thought. I think Chris will enjoy this from a pragmatic stance. So I have the Foxtrot light that I carry for offensive, and anything that's not offensive, I have this really cool tool in my pocket. It has a light. It also has the internet. It also makes phone
I
calls.
don't. It's not the same grabbing your fucking
Not
phone.
the same.
I
hate.
Oh, come on.
I
not at
hate
all.
Come on.
The phone light. It's the worst. Okay, so I've got
No, that ain't it.
every night at around dark we have chickens, and I have to go down and close up the barn where the chickens are. And it's about a 70-yard walk from my house to the barn, and it's totally dark. Like if I wait until it's dark outside, there's not any street light or anything out there. And it goes down into this like pit. It's like downhill where there's all these trees and everything. It's very, very dark down there. So that's my like test for whatever flashlight I'm going to carry. It's like I need enough light to see and be comfortable with what's going on in the barn and all that stuff. So occasionally I will have de-geared myself for the day, taken everything off, and I forget about the chickens. I'm like, oh, I got to take care of that. And I've got my pajama pants on or whatever. And I'll just take my phone, and I hate it every single time. It's the worst possible light. It's like I can see just enough to not trip over something, and not anything else.
Dude, at that point, half the time I'm using my phone light, I actually turn it off and use my screen. Like I'm just like, I'll just use a white screen, and then this is fucked. I hate this.
Yeah. It's the worst.
So
I've rarely used the phone light unless I already have the phone in my hand, and even then, I'm probably gonna get the flashlight if I have it.
Well, I mean,
I reject your pragmatism.
But
I know.
But
I know.
wait,
Honestly,
what if we started a whole new like pistol form about the cell phone lever stands?
there's a meme.
Like
there's a meme of that going around.
What would you do? I'm trying to figure
I
it
got-
out. How
I
would
got
you
the
hold the
rules.
phone?
Well, you do
do
the
like
underhand.
the
You do
Harry
the modified
technique.
FBI
What-
thing, right?
No, you could do also.
Or
you, could
hair,
just,
yeah, sorry.
you could just hit record, and then have the light from
Rogers fucking
have the light from the recording, so you're actually recording your instances for later on for the gram.
Hey, have you ever
like
seen
some live leak shit.
Have you ever
Oh,
seen that
God.
old man, it had to have been from like the 60s or something. It was like a revolver with a camera attached, and it was made so you could get a shot of the perp that you're shooting at. And it was like body cam for 1960s policing. It was like a full
Holy
camera,
shit.
film camera attached to a revolver.
Oh my God!
That's
I
just
think it was a real
snuff
thing. I'm
filmmaker.
saying it now. It sounds like
Oh
a.
my God! I
It
just
sounds like
found
it has
No,
to
no,
have
it's
been
real.
a
It's real.
April
I found
Fool's
it.
joke.
I found it. No, I found it.
Okay.
I'm gonna submit it into the chat section of this.
All right, I'm looking at it. Vintage. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yo.
I didn't imagine it. That's right.
Wow,
I mean,
that's a little bit more. That's not as cartoony as I thought it was going to be. I'll be honest.
It's pretty
that
small
really
camera.
brings Smile You're on Camera to a whole new meaning.
Well, this
Holy
is
fuck.
this is
Smile
right through the flash.
1938.
Yeah.
1938. That's early
That doesn't seem right.
for
Oh,
a camera that
1938.
small.
I typed in 1960. My Googleing's not. the
Yeah,
best.
I don't think that. I think the history may be wrong, but it's interesting.
I wonder if it was
God.
just like a proof of concept. Because
Yeah.
I can't imagine that ever being a commercial product.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
But yeah, I mean, so in
Interesting.
terms of the lights, that so I wanted a tactical light and a administrative light. I think, to be honest, the only reason I really use the full beans is to dazzle my wife in the most annoying way possible, to get my son's attention if he's like 1,000 yards away, or it's a little humid at night and I want to look like I have a lightsaber. I'll be 100% honest. I do that quite a bit. Like, we'll be out waiting for something and just like a beautiful night sky, and I'm just like, yo, yo, yo.
I like to turn on the strobe function and do dance party. My kids hate it.
I'm
I-
just imagining like some pilot is just like ATC 155. I see your lights. I see your lights.
I did that to my wife. Like she had come in, and I think I was being like, I got that like crackhead husband energy where you just get the overwhelming urge to bother your wife. And she was coming into the bedroom, and I was just like, it'd be really funny if I because the strobe, if people don't know, the strobe function on the stilettos is all the beans, and it's very, very, very bright. Like it hurts your eye. And so I hit her right as she came in, and she hit the other fucking wall. Cause she was a little dazzled. She was not very happy with me after that.
Not only did you razzle,
imagine
you
someone do
also dazzled her.
There was a bit of dazzling. I felt bad about that.
When
She's
I
already
first got that
hard of
the
seeing.
2 emitter, what is that? What is it called? The whatever cylinder you have.
The Pro 2, whatever.
The Pro
Yeah.
2, whatever. Okay, so when I first got that, I was trying to see something outside from my second story window, and I opened the
Child's play.
window because I wasn't going to shine it through the glass. I'm not that stupid, but I held it right up to the
I am.
screen, and like within a second, the screen started smoking from the light. Like, oh well, guess I shouldn't.
It's
do
an
that.
LED emitter, actually. If you didn't know that. Not LED, it's a fucking laser emitter. It's a diode. Yeah, they're pretty crazy. But I mean, so like the light thing, I mean, that was a long tangent to answer your question.
Well, we never.
I asked a question.
Yeah, you asked about like what the common group, what it seems like the tactical group.
Yeah.
And I tried to talk about a bell curve, and then we got off on this.
Well, you never
flashlight
asked.
thing.
You never asked me when I carry.
Yeah, I was going to ask Kevin. I wanted to know.
Hey, Kevin, what was your first purchase, and what has changed up to now?
Glock 19 from a pawn shop. They used to be a Leo gun. And
No, it was a
RXM.
it was a department. It was a Homeland gun.
An old DHS.
Yeah, we had
gun
found
that
the
was
serial range.
never fired. I fired it
Blue
so
Label.
much that I fired it so
Nice.
much I had to rebuild it, and I broke the trigger shoe on it. The safety.
Yeah, it was
gen?
basically new.
I don't know how I
13?
broke the safety trigger shoe, but Bryce tells me I did.
The dingus, the inertial
The
safety.
Yeah, the dingus.
He broke it, so it was just
How did you
don't know how
break
you
it?
do that.
Shoot the fucking piss out of it. I don't know.
He did clap that gun out. pretty
I
hard.
took Bryce's. I took his opinions like the gospel, and I shot that fucking gun 1,000 rounds every weekend for like years until it got too expensive.
That is true.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
that is. We
From-
would have
from
dueling
sunup,
range weeks.
Like I would get there. I would get to
Yeah.
this place in Ocala when the sun was literally cresting the fucking hill with a bottle of water, the birds chirping. I wouldn't leave until the sun was setting behind the fucking hill, and I was seeing the fucking what is it? The burnt powder coming out of my muzzle. That goes, okay, you gotta leave. Bridge is closing. I'm like, all right, fuck it.
Kevin went from not being very comfortable at all to being very serious about, practice. More so than I've ever seen before. Of course,
Yeah,
he is
and
a
then
force
That's a
of
lot of
nature.
shooting, man.
And then Bryce got me a Filster holster, skeletonized, and I started carrying.
Yeah, the skeleton too. No,
I still have it.
No, it was just a skeleton.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I still have it. It's under my pillow right now. And then I
Yeah,
wanted.
he
and-
wore the retention out of it, so now it's like it doesn't really hold the gun anymore.
Nice.
It works.
So what are you carrying now?
Well, I did do a 365 for a while with a dot because I wanted the concealability of it. And then I've recently have come back full circle to now I have an RXM with a Brownells cobbled together slide and dot. So I'm
How
back.
do you feel about that versus the 19? Like, does it not
I
being a Glock bother
I
you?
like no, it doesn't because it feels like a worn in Glock trigger. It's like Glock has a real spongy trigger to it. This one has a very clean, crisp. I know where it's gonna break every time. And every time I'm shot it hasn't changed. I know exactly where it's breaking, and it's It's nice. And I run 17 round mags. So 1 in the pipe, 17 round mag. And then that's all I have. And then a knife and a light. And then
Kevin really hasn't diverted from his original. He's always been very pragmatic. I seem to be a lot more impressionable than he is.
To me,
Yeah,
it's a
I
tool.
kind of envy that. I wish that I could be that, and it's part of it is because I am like a gear guy. Like I like messing around with tinkering, but a lot of it is honestly just like I'm always trying to find the thing that's both comfortable to shoot and comfortable to carry, and has like some respectable ballistic capability.
I have a level of acceptance for discomfort, I guess, but it's not very high. It's pretty. I mean, I ran a skeletonized holster for a reason, for a long fucking time.
You had it was an MFT
until it stopped fucking working.
Yeah, a
like
lot
one
of
of the-
times I will look at my gun safe and I'm just like, I just want to get rid of everything and buy just one gun, go back to where I started, and just have that gun. But it's not going to happen because I'm just like never going to be content with anything.
Oh, that was I just had a great question. You just set up a great question.
What's the one gun you could have? You only
What's the one gun you would sell tomorrow if you had to?
Well, that's different.
What's the one gun I would sell tomorrow?
If you had to, yeah.
You mean other than the 5 that I've been planning to sell for the last 2 years and haven't gotten around to it yet?
Than the
I mean,
5.
those count, right?
Yes, other than the 5.
What's wrong with those? Let's hear about those.
Yeah, now I'm curious where the
what
the
guns
5?
is Chris
Wait,
Baker
why
trying to sell?
are you selling guns, you absolute monster?
Okay, I've never been on board with the never sell a gun thing. I've always just it's easy come, easy go.
That's fair.
There are a couple of guns I have that the only reason I have them is because they're NFA guns and they're harder to get rid of. I would have gotten rid of them a long time ago.
Donate them to us.
I've got a couple that I've either done enough work to or had enough work done to them that I'm kind of attached to them now. And I like having them. But I have a few that are just like they're just sitting there collecting dust. I bought a Beretta Bobcat a couple years ago on impulse because it was cheap, and I was like, maybe this one will run. It doesn't.
It does.
Very
and
fast.
That's in addition to the one that we own, that the company owns that doesn't run.
I like
actually,
that you use your company.
One,
you were like, hey guys, how about you try to see if you find one that works?
Yeah, you guys buy one. No,
you do it.
If I do it for content, it doesn't.
Yeah. Chris, don't you have one? Nope. No, I don't.
I have one, and then the company has one in this case. And the company one actually runs pretty good, but it keyholes like at 15 yards.
I remember seeing that.
Yeah. So I bought one that doesn't. It's not really any better.
Great.
I can't remember off the top of my head all the other ones.
Didn't those get discontinued again?
To go list. I think. Let me think. They still were making the 21A covert. Like the threaded barrel one up until about a year ago, and then they officially discontinued them. Now it's
the
20X is the one that's replaced it, which is more like a Tomcat re-barreled for 22. It's a little bit bigger,
right? Which is a shame because I thought the tan one looked cool, which I guess is we're getting because I guess I never said what I sort of said it, but 5-inch all steel 9mm 1911 is what I'm carrying right now, but like. But that's also because I treat this, and Kevin has said this, and it took me a while to accept it, but I treat concealed carry and the firearms, it is my hobby. Like what gun I'm carrying is my hobby. Like does this perform objectively as well as this handgun? Not because of what I think other people think anymore. Now I've decided like, okay, I've had a thought like, what would it take for me to want to carry a full-size handgun? And then I go from that, and then we start, like, because Daryl Blokey, or was it Daryl? No. Oh, fuck. I can't remember who it was now. But it was Chuck Pressburg was talking about offensive handguns. And so, like, I like going down, like, thought exercises and going as far as I can into them. And so I was like, all right, well, let's carry, like, Glock 34 with the most ammo possible, a U-boat, try to do the tactical Timmy thing. And really try to see it out, because, like, you know, I'm not going to be able to go back to my car for a rifle. Not that any of this actually matters, because it was something for me to occupy my brain with. I could be like, well, it's interesting to me. Like, I will say, as a hobby, I like ranging stuff. I have one of the 100 100 concepts,
guys.
or whatever.
I'll try and surmise
I
for you.
kills. That's what it was. Yes. What?
Bryce.
Oh, yes.
Bryce likes to have problems and challenges that he can continuously solve in his defense carry. If he has a Glock 19 like I do with a dot, and it just fucking runs like a fucking Toyota, he gets very bored
19s.
and very, you know,
I've never owned
he doesn't like
a Glock
it. So
19.
he's continuously trying to challenge himself with different carry ideas.
Yeah, it is my hobby, 100%. And I'm carrying this now, the 10-8 Performance Masterclass, and tinkering with it because I like 9mm 1911s, because I watched, when I was a kid, Todd Green shooting a Warren Tactical, and I thought that was the coolest shit ever.
We all
cool.
watched him, and it was cool.
Yeah, so, like, that kind of stuff. My original range officer was like an homage to his. It had Warren Tactical sights. It was an operator. You know, like, I did the thing, had the 10-8 flat face trigger and stuff like that. And I tried the bulletproof magazine slide release. So I treated it as a hobby, just because I don't do anything else. I tell people jokingly, I'm a father, I'm a husband, and I do gun stuff. Like, I literally, like, that's all I do. I don't do anything else.
We should make t-shirts that say that.
I legitimately do not do anything else. So much so that I started getting depressed because I had no outlet for me to talk or do anything, because I don't talk to gun people. Everybody's a fucking gun guy until you want to talk to them about something real, like past caliber selection or Glock being better than whatever the fuck. I don't know.
At SHOT Show, I got a devilish, what's the word? I got like a joy out of seeing people like really get kerfuffled when Bryce's like very poignant questions, and then he would just do the you know, like mentally the and just walk away. I'm like, wow. I'm like, wow, they do nothing.
There's a
I
joke.
have a hard time talking to gin pop gun people.
Yeah.
Well, I think most people in the industry do to some degree.
Well, they all fall.
Last year I went to Revolver Fest, which is as dorky as you would think it is, and that was a good time. Because that's like anything, like if you find the people who are into the same niche as you can kind of, I can't tell you how many discussions I had there about the ideal K-frame grip, and I still haven't found it, but I talked a lot about it, and that was enjoyable. But if someone wants to talk to me about, what do you think of the new Bodyguard? Like, I don't care. I'll probably review it at some point.
I was gonna say I'm gonna
don't
buy
have
one
a
for my
problem
wife.
with it, but it's just not something that excites me in the same way that the other weird stuff I talk about does. So
It's like getting another
I think
phone.
it's the kind of, you are sort of doomed to fall into that. If you're in the industry, it's going to happen to you at some point. You're going to get to a point where you're just like, the general just gun conversations just bore me to tears.
Yeah.
I have my thing that I want to talk about, whether it's like, you know, Finnish Mausers or whatever people are into, all over the gun space. The people who can endlessly talk about the latest tactical gear, like, I don't get it. I don't get how that keeps you excited? Like what?
Yeah, how does that satiate your hunger? Like, what
Yeah.
are you getting from this? They're all saying
I
the
mean,
same thing. Who cares?
I don't think I'm like that with guns, but when it comes to pens, you ever want to go down a pen rabbit hole?
Pens?
Yeah, he's a
Pens.
neophile.
Like fountain pens?
I have some of those.
Pens. He likes pens. Period. He's also a paper
Here.
nerd.
This is what I have on my desk currently, when in my grasp.
He also might be autistic. He's
I don't-
probably autistic.
Hold on. I've got it. This is really exciting for podcast listeners, but I'm going to hold up a pen that I have on my desk without the brand name showing
G2.
and see if you can tell me what it is.
The damn it, I know what that is.
Listed.
Always fucking took those metal clips off.
The Japanese. What?
Wow. I have no
upside
idea. I don't know.
No, it's upside down.
Micro.
Oh,
Micron.
Oh, what?
Nice.
Okay.
It's a drawing pen.
It is that you got.
They
some
have. Do they
tickle.
have like the metal tip? Is that
No,
what
it's
I'm
like
thinking?
it's like a firm felt
I
tip.
I will
kind of
tell
thing.
you. I will tell you
Oh,
right
then
now.
maybe not.
Parker
not.
Jotter is the best fucking
Oh my
everyday
God.
pen.
What has this
I've
turned
ever-
into?
That
I will hear none of that. I use G2s and nothing else because when I was a server for 8 months, that was the fucking shit. Okay,
you
and
mean-
you got
I
your
like
G2
G2s.
you mean like
stolen.
That's
G2s
my
are great.
You mean like
Yeah.
this G750? Yeah, I have one.
But
No, I'm
to bring this
G2s.
back to the topic at hand, Kevin, you mentioned like it's just
God
a
damn
tool
it.
when you're talking about Glocks.
Yeah,
That's how I feel about pens. That's how I
Yeah,
feel
and that's
about
fair.
cameras. Like even though I use
Yeah.
cameras in my
Yeah, and that-
day-to-day job,
yeah, and that's
and like I have to kind of I have to get into it enough to buy a new one every few years, but it doesn't excite me. Like some people love to pour over the specs and get
yeah.
excited about new lenses, and I appreciate a new thing. And like when we got the camera we have, I was excited about it because it was going to do some stuff the old one didn't do. And so it's not that it's all lost on me, but I just like once it's in place and I'm using it, I don't care anymore. It's just a camera. And I wish I
that's-
could feel that way about guns, but I
guns.
can't.
Yeah,
I'm like, what if I could carry a Makarov with real sights? That's got to be a thing, right?
See, I think that's cool. I think that's interesting. But I feel like the deeper you go into this, like whether it be in the industry or maybe it's just an industry. I don't know. But like how truly like consumes your world, you start running to more obscure
well,
places in the hobby.
Ooh,
I-
I got another good analogy. It's almost like you're Keltec chasing the never-ending high that cocaine gives you.
Wow, that's good. Even though his name is it's Cal Grin is the guy.
I'm just
doing the blow.
sick. Okay, so, but the point
It's
is,
fine, it's
when
fine.
you're doing cocaine, you're chasing the dragon, right? So when you're doing this, you're always chasing that idea or that new thing, and then when
Yeah.
you get to it, do you ever feel satisfied?
You know, like it's funny. Like everyone jokes about Keltec snorting lines or whatever, but I think it's the reality is that it's just like this is what happens when you have an engineer running the company, and he doesn't have anyone like a product development person moderating between like what the engineer can do and what the market actually cares about.
Dude,
And there's, like,
every
there's no
engineer is like
filter.
that.
Exactly.
It
It's
makes
like
for,
that.
It makes for really cool guns.
I don't know if you guys saw that silly folding 22 pistol I did a review on it a couple months ago. The ounce.
I want one of those
Like,
so
it's-
fucking badly.
It's so ridiculous. Like just
I love
looking
that.
at all the pieces, it's like who in their right mind went to all the trouble to engineer this?
it.
Like it's brilliant from an engineering standpoint, but it has no business being a life-saving device. It's
Also
absolutely idiotic.
$1,000, by the way.
Also $1,000. Like it's idiotic
$1,000.
at the thing that it's made to do. and there
It's
was no
so fucking
filter for
mad.
someone to say like, "Hey, man, maybe you should make a regular gun first and make that like really good, and then see
Right.
if you can make it fold."
And
And
then,
it's like,
and then
no,
Get
I'm
out of
going.
my room,
It's
Mom.
folding, or I'm not
People
doing
are
it
gonna
at
love
all.
this.
we only fold in this house, sir. Well, so like our engineer at he has an electrically fired 3D printed gun. Like these guys are engineers are on a different plane of existence than you and I. So like, yeah, that's the best. Now, I think they're the most interesting guns that are released.
Well,
I don't know.
It's a question if can we, not it's never should we. It's always
Yeah,
can we.
insert Jurassic Park
Yeah,
meme.
I mean,
And
who
the
doesn't
answer
love
is yes.
like watching Ian McCollum pull up some just ridiculous thing that should never
Yeah.
have been made? Like,
Yes.
oh man, I love the thing he did. It was like a semi-auto conversion for a break action shotgun.
Yes, I saw that with like the
Oh, yeah.
flipping.
It was like
Yeah.
one of the most steampunk things he's ever
Yes.
showed on that channel. It was amazing. It's like this thing that should not exist, but I love that it does.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. That's why I carry a 5-inch gun. It's a hobby for me. And it's something
it
I can tinker with.
all
I
steel?
like that too. Yeah.
40
Yeah, it's
ounces plus.
Oh, I can't find so I just moved into a townhome. Well, not just, but I moved into a townhome. So I can't find any, like I had a scale because I liked weighing different
Yeah.
guns and figuring out,
Yeah, that's why you
you
have
know,
scale.
and then I would log all the, oh God. I was a little nervous buying one on Amazon. They'd think I was using it for literally anything else. Like it's a food grade scale. And I'm like, I could weigh my guns.
Food grade, he says.
No, I have a spreadsheet of let's see, every gun that's come through my house in the last 8 years or so has been weighed,
Thank
loaded
you.
and unloaded.
Thank you.
I have the weight of the magazine
Ooh,
and
excellent.
of the gun itself.
You're
and I have,
validating.
just in case I don't have time to weigh a gun loaded, I have weighed all of the different
what
calibers.
ammo?
I know how
yeah,
much
you did.
This
one
is how I
round
this is how I feel
weighs
my
to
gun.
the.
That's crazy
see,
work.
You can't do that. You
I
gotta,
don't-
You gotta
I don't
have
need-
numbers, man.
I don't need the numbers. I know how much a loaded gun
How do you
weighs.
know what's real if you don't have the numbers?
You
Because we
need
live in the
in-
Matrix, Chris. There is no fucking numbers, and there is no real. The machines
him
rule
and
the
his
world.
fucking fiat currency. This man is a menace.
My
I tell
God.
you what.
Can you tell him what fiat currency is, Chris, before I strangle him?
I didn't sign up for
I
that kind
know-
of podcast,
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
but I will say, if we don't go back on the gold standard soon, then I think it's all lost.
Yeah, fair.
Here's my spreadsheet on.
Ooh.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Look how
See,
lovely.
I
that's
like
what I'm
that.
talking about.
But see, he has such a level of precision to it that it's nice and easy. I'm sure he can hit Control F and type in a gun and it pulls up. It's not
I
scribbled
don't
on
do that.
paper.
I just leave it.
It's not scribbled on
Yeah.
toilet paper somewhere like randomly in a shoebox.
That also is a fact. That's fair. I'm a
Ask
little
me
bit
how
more.
much a gun weighs.
Glock
I probably
17
don't
fully
know
loaded.
because I don't care about that gun, so it's not on my list.
How much does that?
There's a good
How much does the
setup.
3rd gen weigh?
Yeah, I have a Glock 15 Gen or Glock 19 Gen 5,
Ew.
31.3 ounces.
How much did you weigh the gen?
Oh, okay.
Did you weigh the 3rd gen?
Don't have that on here now.
You piece of shit. All right, fine. How about what about the compact LTT or the Wilson Combat? Did you weigh that?
Let's see.
Bring that back, please.
Oh,
might
this is
have
this is
been-
exciting.
right before. Oh no, it is on here. That is 38.9 ounces loaded. The
God damn.
Wilson Combat 92G Compact.
Yeah. That was such
was
a
a-
fuck.
That
I
was a great
hated
gun.
that.
I
You were
sold
like,
that to
hey,
a
here's this
coworker.
really. Oh my God. That was yours?
I bought it after it was a T&E
Hell
gun,
yeah.
and I decided to
Oh,
buy
yeah.
it. And
Nice.
I carried it for a while, and I
That's a
carried
lot
it
of gun.
way longer than I normally would have, just because I loved that gun so much. I'm like, this is
That's
so
why-
uncomfortable. But
That's
every
this.
time I would like take it off at the end of the day, I was like, oh, this gun's awesome.
I know.
And
I know.
eventually,
I know what you're talking
think
about.
It like crushed my balls when I sat down in my car one day. And I got too pissed at having,
Gotta
because
do
I
it.
don't usually carry a gun with that much barrel, and things got a little crowded, and I got mad, and I stopped carrying it after that day.
That's
And
a real-
eventually, I sold it to my coworker who was looking for a Beretta. I was like, "This is the one you want," and so I think
was
she was happy
so-
with it, but I'm a little sad that it's gone.
Wow, that was a real roundabout way of saying that you have massive cojones.
I know, right?
It was,
But,
it was the position, not the size.
The
was
worst,
problem.
Jesus. The worst thing about that review, by the way, you absolute monster, you're like, this gun is fucking great, and you cannot buy it.
Can't buy
Like,
it. Yep.
God damn it.
You
Yeah.
can't buy
What
it.
the
They
fuck?
sent it to me to review, and then like the next month they're like, "Oh yeah, we're not making any more," because like
Great.
Beretta stopped sending them to
Stellar.
Wilson, so Wilson was like, "Hey, what? We have to discontinue
So-
this?"
oh, nice. Well, I guess we're not doing this now.
Dude,
Yeah,
that's,
I think it
that's
was Italy
hilarious.
just decided,
Don't want to do
you guys
that.
have had enough of those.
Yeah,
We're not
Yeah, the
sending anymore.
Italians
Damn-
are just
damn-
they're not having it.
damn you, your Italianos.
It's like at least they don't sue people like Ferrari. Wait, that's not true. Did they sue Ruger? Maybe
Aren't they about
something.
to buy?
I
They're
mean,
trying to buy
I
them,
mean, you
right?
can
Yeah.
sue anyone
That
in
is-
Italian
that
court.
was not
It
on
doesn't
my
mean
bingo
anything.
card for the year.
Yeah, that was fucking crazy. Now they're trying to like strong arm their way onto Ruger. It's like, why Ruger? What a strange.
It seems odd.
strange
I don't
brand
know.
to
I think
target.
of Beretta as being way smaller than Ruger, so it seems like a tiny fish swallowing a big
Really?
fish. But
Are
Maybe
they
they're not.
smaller? Because they
maybe
own
it's
Steiner.
probably
They
just
own
their handgun division is smaller.
yeah, because their defense
Yeah.
their defense side is fucking massive.
they've got
Like the NARP that they came out with. I mean, they have like actual ordnance. I think something like that.
they've got a lot of European contracts. They've got a
Yeah.
huge presence in the sporting shotgun thing. So if you're just
well, and then they
looking
have
at,
their other
like,
brands too.
what they make that would be relevant to my interests, it's like a smaller segment of stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Damn, those fuckers still sell the AR-160, but they won't sell it here. That's gay. That makes me very upset.
They're
I quite
Italians.
like the AR-100s. I mean, nobody bought them, but they had you were able to change the side it ejected from by putting the charging handle through the receiver when it was locked open.
you
And
can't buy
I
those.
love
anymore?
that. No, they're discontinued here.
Really? They are AR-100s?
Yeah, I wanted the 13-inch. 13-inch?
I definitely
Because
never
I thought
saw
those
one
looked
outside
sick.
of SHOT Show, so I guess it makes sense.
I
Oh,
saw
yeah.
one in a gun store once, and I thought it looked really cool because I think it was a rental gun because it was an SBR. I was like, man, as an SBR, that looks really good. It kind of reminds me of like a G36, like kind of just swoopy and shit. It's kind of fun. I liked it. But yeah, so
Big chunky plastic case with
absolutely,
a
yeah.
barrel in it.
It's very video game esque. I like it. It kind of reminds me of the Zavor, where they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna draw it on a piece of paper and go, that looks pretty dope. Let's make that again." For like that's it. That's the
Nothing
most
wrong with
thought
that.
that. It's like, hey man,
Oh.
fuck yeah.
That's how they got
Fuck's
the
pretty hard.
CX4.
Oh,
I have one
wow.
of those.
I'm reading the article now about
Those
about
as
Beretta trying
SBRs
to
look
take
good
over
too.
Ruger. That's interesting.
Those look really good. I like an SBR CX4. Those are pretty cool.
Yeah, I have an SBR one. That's why I still
Do-
have
do-
it, because it's SBR.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I don't know.
It's a great gun. It's super, super reliable. It sucks to shoot suppressed. It
Really?
just because
Wow.
of where the ejection port is, it's like you can swap the side for the ejection, so it's open on both sides. and where your face is, it's just spits gas right in your face.
They don't make sealer plates?
I had a friend 3D print a cover for the left side.
Yeah.
But it's like because of the I guess it's because of where the extractor is, you can't seal it completely or something, and so it's got enough of a gap in it to still shoot gas right in your face. There's like a couple of loads I know I can shoot that are like low pressure enough that all the powder's burned and it doesn't send little pieces back through the port.
Oh no!
It's like it's like that American Eagle Federal made like a 124 grain suppressor round. It's like a subsonic 124 grain load, and that's got it doesn't have enough powder in it to have anything to shoot back at you, and so it's great with that.
It's burning all it's got.
But if you shoot like 147 grain HSTs or something out of it, you're gonna get all the gas and all the powder in your face.
Oh shit! That's good to know.
Ew.
Actually, I always wanted one of those. I thought they look really cool, but I guess maybe not now. maybe with like a flow through can, it wouldn't be as bad. But yeah, I kind of feel like
I've only tried it with the one can, but it's also it's great if you've got a bunch of 92 mags, so that helps.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
And you can get the 30 round 92 mags.
See, my priorities have changed in that I just buy guns that I go, hey, that's pretty cool. I want that. And it's probably just going to be fine. And if it's not, I'll move on to something else because I'll lose interest. Kevin's nodding because that's exactly what I do.
Oh,
because I lose interest in practicing with a gun. Before I let you go, because I realized we kept you and really appreciate you coming on. When you were talking about your double in the video, we were talking about the 3rd gen. In that video, you were talking about if it makes sense and it makes you want to go to the range just a little bit more and paint your grips like leopard or whatever the hell. That really spoke to me. That was one of my epiphanies. When you were talking about that. I've talked about that for fucking years.
That's okay. So I have to. That's a Todd Green thing.
Yeah.
And
okay.
I remember he said that to Caleb Giddings in a pistolforum.com.
Okay.
Post. And he may have said it elsewhere, but I remember it stuck with me when Caleb said something about, I don't know if it was him shooting revolvers or something. You know, he has as esoteric taste as I do. He was shooting something stupid, and he was everyone was talking about like, well, you know, like what's your current gun and why is it the best thing ever or whatever. And Caleb was like, I'm just trying to stay interested, and I'm shooting this stupid thing. And Todd was like, if that's what gets you to the range, that's what gets you out there. Don't feel bad about it. So
love that. That is the coolest shit to hear. Yeah. Because it's real. That is the biggest thing is like you should consider certain things to some degree, like caliber, how the gun reacts with you, if it's comfortable on some level. But like at the end of the day, like if the silly gun is what you wanted to shoot.
Giving you the drive and the want to train and go out there and shoot, I think it's priceless. You know, it's like the fucking credit card commercials. You know, cost of the gun $2,000, cost of the holster $200, cost of the case of ammo, you know, $280, cost of a dot, like, you know, $600, cost of going to the range, cost of going to the range and enjoying your shooting.
Priceless. Except there's also a bill to that, but yeah.
Well, those were all estimated costs and price new gun.
Right.
And I think I was pretty spot on.
Yeah, that was pretty good. But yeah, I think if not for anything else. By the way, but we did have Caleb Giddings on. So if you want to listen to that episode,
I'm
go look at that
you can't see me hashtag.
I can't believe I said hashtag. That's terrible. Sorry, that was a shameless plug for me. I figured I'd tell people when somebody would bring somebody up. Because every time that happens, I get a question like, hey, you should have them on. And I'm like, I did. But I guess you wouldn't know that. Yeah.
I'm
sorry.
Love that. Hey, you should review this gun. I did review that gun.
I did do that, actually.
I do have that guy on. We do.
That is, it's like we've been blessed with a lot of cool people that give us the time of day.
You know, it's funny.
Much like yourself.
when I meet people at the range, sometimes I'll casually like say stuff like, "Yeah, you should check out this podcast. The guys are pretty cool." Like, "Oh yeah, okay, yeah, well, I'll check them out." I'm like, "I'm this guy. Nice to meet you. All right, bye.
Have you
have a great
actually?
day."
Have you really had that happen?
Dude, I promote all the time.
Oh wow.
Like, I
That's
don't go
cool.
out of my way. Like, I'm not like
I
chasing
don't.
people down.
I'm not
I'm not
I
like,
don't
I'm not
promote
like,
at all.
I'm not like,
myself.
hey, you, sir, at the gas
I-
station. You, come
I don't
back,
talk
come back.
about. I don't talk about the podcast because I don't want to hear about anybody else's podcast, and I think it. I feel like I'm imposing.
I bring it up if it feels like if I'm talking to someone and they're cool, then I'll bring it up. But other than that,
I won't talk about my podcast, and you don't talk about your multi-level marketing scheme. And we'll all
Exactly.
get
I'm
along
like, you know
fine,
what?
Right?
well, Chris, it's
cool.
funny you say that because actually we do have.
Yeah, you
a
wouldn't
thing
believe
coming out.
this. We've
That's
gotten to
all
the
the
part of
time
the
I
show.
have
Oh man.
Well, Chris, honestly, it has been a real pleasure. Thank you for coming on again.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure. So, and to the listeners, where can they find you or your awesome content and quick shipping of other things?
If you want to buy bullets, go to luckygunner.com. If you want to see content, go to luckygunner.com/lounge, or you can find us on YouTube. We are Lucky Gunner Ammo, and occasionally we post on the social medias, but mostly just watch the videos.
The ammo comes lightning quick, though, right?
It is lightning quick.
Lightning fast.
Lightning fast. He said it. He
I
said
can't-
that thing.
I
Now
can't
look,
attest.
It's lightning fast out of our warehouse. We can't be held responsible for what the carrier does with said ammo.
Yeah.
Because I will
Run into
admit,
that recently.
occasionally we've had, I have ordered ammo from our warehouse, and our warehouse is like 30 minutes from my house, and the
Thought I
ammo
was
has
lazy.
gone to another state before it comes to my house.
Yeah, it's all
UPS
there-
has
You'd think-
chosen to like route it through Dallas or
Wow.
something.
I
Dude,
yeah,
that's the kind of luck I
that's
have
not
with
on us.
FedEx.
But
That's
that does
Orion.
happen.
Jesus.
Well, lightning fast shipping, asterisk, if UPS does their part.
Yeah, blame
I had a-
Orion.
Well, either way, I had FedEx do some. I had a FedEx package come from Georgia and go to Alaska and then me. I
That's
thought that was
awesome.
kinda neat.
I refuse
like,
to
that's
use
cool.
FedEx. I refuse to use them.
Cool vacation.
I have to. It sucks. But yeah, so thank you so much for coming on, Chris. Again, always a pleasure. And to the listener, thank you for giving us the time to talk. You could be doing a lot of things, and we really
Yep.
appreciate you
Pooping.
taking the
You
time
could
and
be
listening.
pooping right now.
You could be pooping. Most of
Eating.
you are probably driving, based on the
Driving.
statistics that on the
Working.
old analytics. But yeah, so thank you. We couldn't do this without you. He's still going. All right, so I'm gonna try to
Playing
find the
games.
outro. Thank you for listening,
Bumping
Kevin. Stop.
uglies.
Please stop this.
Jerk.
Hey, you made it to the end of the video. Very cool. You should like and subscribe.
On Facebook and Instagram.
And Twitter and Spotify. You should listen there too. If you
Aren't they
heard this on
listening to
Spotify.
this on Spotify right now?
Well, they could be, but there's also YouTube podcasts. So, all of the places.
We always forget where we post this stuff.
We don't know where this is. Thank you for listening wherever you're listening to, but you should also like the other places that we are. And
Who
then,
are we and what the hell are we doing here?
yeah, I don't know how we got here. So thank you for letting us talk directly into your ear holes.
Right to the brain.
Thanks for listening. Bye.
Adios.